Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination fly. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, the ultimate pop culture lair. Calm down and get your geek a gift at the Sci-Fi Center. We got almost everything a geek could want at the Sci-Fi Center. You name it, we got it. Star Trek, Star Wars, Marvel, DC, and everything in between at the Sci-Fi Center.
That's something I usually do when Brad says something silly I don't want to hear. But he's not here tonight. He has decided that he needed sleep. Wuss. But like I said, this is impromptu. Let's see. Just making sure I don't have any other crazy things going on. Hey, good morning. Welcome to Tuesday. 35 minutes into Tuesday. Like I said in the description, every now and then, like I said more briefly, I have plans for sleep, but the ferrets that engineer all my thought process saying, nah, not yet. So I got to run the motherfuckers out. I got to it's like when your dog is too excited, you got to take him for a walk and sometimes a run until he starts panting and he don't wants to be carried or he starts dragging his feet. Then you know that dog is tired and he's going to come into the house and he's going to go to sleep and he's not going to be doing the zoomies and all that. That's the ferrets that make up my brain. So we got about, I'd say I'd give this about a half hour of them before the ferrets are like, okay, fuck this guy. Oh, but hey, it's Bell. Sorry I missed your thing today. Like I said, it was a little bit later than my availability would allow for it, but I hope you had a good stream. I hope I know you were watching Superman earlier this afternoon. So also programming note, this Saturday at 2 p.m. Because Larry made it possible, we will be watching the original Spinal Tap. We will be watching, so that is 2 p.m. Pacific time, and that'll be 5 p.m. East Coast time where he is at. So we will be watching the original Spinal Tap. Always a fun movie. And if you guys want to chip in for a watch party of your own, then you can go ahead and use that link to do so. express what movie that you want to see, and then if we can do it, we'll do it. If not, we'll refund you. So the part of the funds goes to our charity, American Suicide Prevention. I contribute directly to that, and then the other half goes for the upkeep of the site and some of the things that we're going to be adding to the site. So there you go. That is tethered to the top of the chat. First timers going to Vegas, which hotels are areas to avoid? That's a tough one, dude. I mean, it all depends on your preference. It used to be you stayed away from the downtown hotels, but they've refurbished a lot of those to where they're nice and safe and in the Fremont district. If you're talking about financially, obviously the Strip is going to be expensive. Even before all the resort fees that people were whining about, the Strip was going to be expensive anyway, because that's the premium. Those are the best hotels. You have the Venetians, your Bellagios, your Treasure Islands. You have your Caesar's Palace. Those are going to be, everybody wants to be on the Strip because that's where all the attractions are. So if we're talking about price wise, then yeah, I would avoid the Strip. There are plenty of hotels that are in Vegas. Vegas is not that big, so you're not really far away from the Strip, really, no matter where you stay. You could find a station casino. I would stay away maybe the Boulder Highway area, but even Boulder Station, which is on Boulder Highway, which has a bad reputation, is a nice hotel. So most of as long as there's an H in front of it, not an M, hotel versus motel, I wouldn't knock any of them. But if you're looking for prices, then you would stay away from the Strip, because that's going to bankrupt you. Hello, my favorite kangaroo. What's going on around? Going to 11. Yes, we are. This Saturday, 2 p.m. Pacific time. I am well enough. I am doing okay. Dealing with some allergy issues, but that's year round with me. Hi, Bill. What's going on? Yeah, it's hilarious. Like I said, that movie came to me at a time where I was still watching comedies. And at a time I was getting into bands like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Def Leppard, and that movie basically doesn't mock them, but it basically kind of gives you, it's like a mockumentary type of situation. So I'm skeptical of the reboot, like all rehashes, but the original is fun. Oh, well, no, it's not a reboot. This is a sequel. This as far as I know, and from what I've been told, this is a sequel. Spinal Tap is not a reboot; it's a sequel. Finally, thoughts on Brainiac possibly being the villain of my finally. I mean, I've been waiting for Brainiac to be on the other end of a Superman equation. It seems like my entire life, as far as the big screen goes. It should have happened already, but hey, here we go. Oh yeah, it's there's a bunch of noteworthy people that are in it. All right. Obviously we had the Grogu trailer come out today, so let's just take a look at that real quick. Probably get kicked off of this, but who knows? Let's take a look. Here's the official trailer. Sigourney Weaver's in this too, which is kind of cool. Man, she's aging like fine wine. Oh, stop it. Let's say start. Here we go. Sorry.
impressive.
Good shot, baby.
That looks like fun. Looks like a episode of Mandalorian with like an Andor budget. Because Andor budgets are about as expensive as Star Wars movies. So that looks like fun. It's 7 a.m. for you. Might have a cup of coffee this time over a cup of tea to treat myself. Okay, cool. There was one thing that made me go, ooh, that's in the snow. Yeah, that was like, when he blows up. I was surprised to see those AT-ATs like moving like that. They're all on like an edge. I'm like, if I were piloting that AT-AT, I'd be like, screw this. I mean, even without him blowing it up, it looks like it would be prone to just falling off the damn cliff. I mean, that would suck. And he's swimming. He's doing a lot more. When you have a movie budget, he can do a lot more. So, like I said, looks like an episode of Mandalorian with a higher budget. Oh, yippee, Aaron. Yippee. Yeah, Middle Earth. Well, I'm not an expert on Middle Earth, so I'm to take your word for that. I see a hut. I've always wanted to see a hut on screen. That was not Jabba, because when we think of Jabba the Hutt, think of an obese person that's out of shape and not in combat shape or not in any type of shape, but that is just big. Hutts are not necessarily all looking like that. Hutts are muscle. Hutts are muscle. They're all that is, when they're in shape, they're muscle. If you read the Dark Lords of the Sith and some of the stuff that that came out in the mid 90s with the nice Timothy and the Timothy Zahn and Tom Vetch covers, there are Hutts that are Jedi. There is a Hutt that is a Jedi. In fact, let me bring this up. Like there's one that like here's one that's in a story. Oops, don't want to do that. Come on, StreamYard, shit. Share screen. Beldorion is a Wookiee Jedi. Not Wookiee, I'm sorry. There are Wookiee Jedis, but there he is right there. That's him fighting Leia. The artwork is a little bit different, but on that one, but there are others. Come on, dude. Something's wrong with StreamYard. It won't bring up the image. Hold on. Pay too much money for this on a monthly basis to there we go. Oh, it won't let me do it because I have an ad blocker, because I don't want to here we go. There we go. There it is. Beldorion. It's one of them. And then, like I said, there are others. Yeah, because I really want to see an actual, moving all quick, doing Jedi stuff. I mean, in some of the stories I've read, they are like moving like lightning because they're using the Force and they're muscular. Sure. Come on, ooh, get out. Let's see images. Trying to find some of the ones that have been, but yeah, there are Hut Jedi that are like that are doing lightsaber battles and everything. So that's kind of be. I wish they would show some more of that, but that was some of the stuff that was in old legend stuff. The Huts are primarily they are formed in clans that are gangsters for the most part, but there are Huts that are not. There are Huts that are force sensitive that have been trained in the Jedi. Price wise, October through January. October through March. So yeah. You've never seen an episode of Mandalorian? It's a really good show. I mean, the last season wasn't the greatest, but Pizza the Hut. You're referencing Spaceballs. I hate that movie. Yeah, practical monsters look like a cross between CGI and practical effects. Oh, Wiki Sith. I don't know how entertaining that would be. Well, he's a zombie now. He's undead, so yeah. It's almost like he's Freddy Krueger this time around. We're giving tickets away for that soon, though. I don't recall seeing them. I didn't really watch those shows closely, though. So yeah, they may have, but I don't. They definitely don't have enough of them. Just looking around. Let's see. All right. We've been live for about 20 minutes. Got about 10. Bell, are you out there, or are you going make some pancakes or something? How did your stream go today, Bell? Sorry, I couldn't make it. Like I said. Yeah, they did that at Cannes. They did that at a couple of film festivals, and he got a standing ovation for it. And he's odds-on favorite for nomination. And right now, according to Campia, he's odds-on favorite to win. I would love that for The Rock. I would love that for The Rock. Yeah, I'm sorry. I really, like I said, I planned on being there, but I didn't know the time to be able to make some time for it. But I'd love to be on one of your streams. Did you guys play a drinking game for F bombs? So every time you drop an F bomb, your panel had to take shots. The motherfuckers would be dead. All right, cool. When are you doing MOS or Man of Steel? Do it on a Friday or a Saturday. I can join in. It's tough during the week for me. Let's see. Oh, by the way, guys, check out Brad's. I reposted it. Check out Brad's article that he just wrote. It just went up on comicbook.com. All right, cool. Yeah, because I saw you had some people, and I know you were waiting for Rhea. All right, Steven, thanks for stopping by, man. Yeah, I saw you were waiting for Rhea to come in when I chimed in because, like I said, I just could not make it today or yesterday afternoon. But I really didn't want to be there because like I said, I've seen Superman enough. I mean, I promoted it heavily, but I still think it would be a lot more fun. Ooh, well, we could do that one. Like I have problems sleeping sometimes, so if we want to help me sleep, let's do Batman Begins because that's better than Benadryl. Thank you, Aaron, for always sharing the stream. Favorite koala bear. That means I did. Oh man, that means it was 20 years ago that I was on R&R for deployment, because that's when I saw that movie. It was when I came back to the States in between. Because when you're in deployment, if you go for a year or over a year, you get what's called R&R. You get 2 weeks, not including the 22-hour flight both ways. So, oh no. That's, yeah, that film was intense. If you could sleep through that, you could sleep through a war. Batman for me is the best overall Batman movie out there. Mm-hmm. I have not seen The Incredibles. I have not seen The Incredibles. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I've never sat down and gave a comprehensive watch. See, I came back to America. I came back to here because I had a convention to go to. So I came back here. I came back to Vegas because I was literally hosting a convention. So yeah, I came back here. Did you, when you went on R&R? How long was your deployment, Bill? Because mine was like in country, 1 year to 1 year, but we had pre-mob and we had demob. How long was your total deployment, Bill? My date knocked the hell out, not even halfway through Batman. Was she in the comic book movies? I mean, if you brought a normie to this movie and they fell asleep, that doesn't count as Tekka. Not directly, no. I was a stiff. I saw some stuff, but I wasn't involved in stuff. As a transportation NCO, you see stuff, but the other people were doing the fighting and the stuff. So I was at a distance. I did 11 months the first time right after AIT because my unit was already there, and 9 months the second time. Damn, woman. They sent you right from basic to that shit. I had been in for a while. I was on my way out when they got me for that shit. I don't know. I got mixed feelings. About the deployment. Running a business and everything, it was really tough to take a year or 15 total 15 months. The total that I spent from the time I got activated to the time I came home from Fort Lewis was 15 months. So that would put a strain on things. The money was awesome. I mean, I re-upped while I was there. Got a 20 grand bonus there. We got tax-free money. I mean, those aspects of it were great, and the camaraderie was great. But I'm a reservist. I mean, I am a civilian. My comfort zone is in the civilian. I can do the soldier thing, and I did it. But when you get mobilized, you're as a reservist, you're leaving that behind, and then it was tough. It was easier once the deployment got going. The hardest part about deployment was getting mobilized, getting basically kidnapped and stuck with a unit and people I'd never met before, and then basically having to grow with those people over the course of a year. But it got easier as it went along, and it just went by. I mean, once that year goes around and you realize, it's over, then it's kind of, yeah. But so I got mixed feelings. I'm glad I did it. I don't know if I would do it again. Yes, hit the like, subscribe. Yeah, we're gonna start. I'm networking out. I'm gonna go on a network plan with some of my other fellow streamers from across different genres, and we're going to share each other's info and see if we can grow this channel, get us 2,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? You are welcome, Jose. Yeah, because you're collectivized. You're in it. You're like I always say, whatever you're going through when you're on deployment or when you're in a group setting with the military, everybody's going through it. Everybody's miserable on their way from home. So you have each other. Everybody is doesn't like the food. Everybody doesn't like, everything you're going through the same thing in some version of another. When you're here in the States, it's not necessarily the same thing. You go to work, you do your thing. You're not sharing that misery. You're dealing with that misery on your own, and you don't. There's not, the people around you aren't necessarily going through the same things that you're going through when you're in a unit or a platoon or a battalion. So yeah, I understand how that feels. I can never finish a Batman in one sitting. I was fighting sleep both times in the theater. That's a knock on. That's no knock on the quality of the movie. Just the pacing was. See, that's how I felt about. That's how I felt about the Batman Begins. So how you felt about the Batman is how I felt about Batman Begins. It was tough. It was tough. I am a hands-on operator. The Sci-Fi Center is me. It's me. It's I can put other people in my stead while I'm doing other things, but every one of these stores is in existence, and the customer base is in existence because of the connection that they make with the person behind the counter. So the Sci-Fi Center is me, and when I'm not there, it's not going to do as well. And plus the internet and social media, we didn't have a lot of that. We're talking, at a time where yes, we all had internet, but the type of things that I used to augment my business. Now, if I would have had Instagram, Facebook, all these other things that came about in force afterwards, then yeah, it would have been a different situation. But not being there, not having those face-to-face conversations with the customers, not guiding the customer along, it did have an effect. We kept it going because the person I had working for me at the time did a good job. But at the same time, it's just not me. It's, I built the place, and when I'm not there, it takes a hit, and it took a hit for, like I said, in total of 15 months. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't retire with the Army, because even I got back here, I did a lot of active duty time setting up the combat sustainment unit that I was in, but I was neglecting my store. And even when it came down to doing this, the reservist 1 week in a month, it's like the most important month of for a retailer of the most important, weekend of the retail calendar is your first month, your first and last months in that order. And I was, and I wasn't just a regular line NCO. I was a battalion training NCO. I operated at the S3, so I wasn't just there, and then gone. So yeah, it takes a lot, and that's why I try to dedicate myself to what I'm doing now wholly instead of splitting myself up. Yeah, when I was here, and I can relate to that too, because even though you're at home, you're eating your food, you're in your own bed and everything else, you spent, like, I went to R&R like 8 or 9 months. I was in rhythm. It took everything I had to get lined up with the active duty Army rhythm and everything that we were going through. And we came back, and I was still, you're only here for 2 weeks, and then the rhythm was broken. And then you had to go back and get re-rhythm. So yeah. Everyone is enduring a terrible economy and inflation at the same time, but somehow it's not as comforting. Yeah, because that's not just a miserable. That's not just a mental state that you can rely on people. It's your bills. People can't pay their bills. People can't live the kind of lifestyle that they want to live because of that. And that's not, even though that's collective misery, it also has consequences that are more devastating than just being miserable 10,000 miles away. Yep. I mean, I believe in Matt Reeves. I liked what he did. I liked what he's done. So, Man of Tomorrow is, like I said, I have to wait and see. I thought they were great. I love his Planet of the Apes movies. I deposited a check at my bank, and instead of dealing with a real person, you're dealing with a person at a remote location that took care of your deposit. I can see that being norm. Yeah, yeah, and a little person sometimes shows up on the screen, and they're not in the building. That's what we've had. No, I have not, but that doesn't mean that I'm not in the manga like that. So sorry, man. Yeah, because we have access to a guy that's working on it. I need to have Arnie on the show. All right, anybody else got anything for me before I start to wind down. Just looking at all this stuff. Um, like I said, I when I came back, there was a unit being set up like right within a year after I came back, and somebody recommended me to help set up the unit, and I saw an opportunity to help mold a unit from scratch, and it was kind of cool, and I had already been in that rhythm for 15 months, so it just was natural for me to jump into it. The money was good. I was making active duty money, and so yeah, that's why. But um at the same time, I don't know if that was a good decision. I enjoyed what I was doing in a while, but at the same time, I think that may have stunted the growth of the store. I don't know because there's a lot of factors that I'm not really sure about. Will people see it as a Star Wars movie or just another episode of The Mandalorian? And all while The Mandalorian is an immensely popular show, I don't know what the theatrical draw would be. I'm not sure. I can't even answer that right now. Isaiah. Hi, Rhea, my fellow night owl. Predator Badlands comes out in October or November. When is Badlands release date? Like I said, we got to see the first 18 minutes of that. Predator Badlands release November 7th. Wow, coming up on it. November 7th, and I hope to be promoting that movie. There you go. Looks like Val had a good time. I don't know if it's a good idea to have you two together though, man. You guys are like, getting the mischief. You guys gotta hit that mute button if you're watching it. Watch out for Ray and Ray and Bell Rev there. Brand. Well, I all I need to see is on this list is Brand New Day. That's going to be your most. That's going to make a ton of money in my Spider-Man. The brand is already built. Supergirl is not a brand that's that strong right now, even with Superman coming out. If Superman and Spider-Man came out, if Superman had been released on like a week before or just a week after, I think Superman, I think Spider-Man would have crushed it because of the fact that it's already an established brand that has already been built up, and there's no real apprehension about going to see that movie, even if other Marvel movies haven't done that well. The all three, all three Spider-Man movies have done well. Two of them went to $1 billion. I don't know if that's going to be the standard this time around, but yeah, those two are. A lot of people when it comes to Grogu and Mandalorian, is it going to be is something that's you're used to seeing on TV? Is it going to be that draw? And then you also have the release, the streaming and all that kind of stuff. So. Looked like a really expensive episode of Mandalorian, which that's fine. Not in the theater. No, I'll probably give it a gander at on streaming. Of course, Rhea loved it. Rhea's California duck like me. Yeah, I heard he had a concussion. I thought it was ribs, but I heard he had a concussion. So he's all right. I mean, he's doing. They had to pause filming, but. All right. Once again, guys, this Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m., we are doing Spinal Tap because Larry chipped in for that. If you guys want to, if you guys want to co-host your own movie of your choice, there's a link. Let me take a look at this. Sorry, I had to check messages. I get a lot of messages from people knowing that I'm up. You might not have been part of the channel for the Matrix, but we've done the Matrix. We've done the Matrix. I think we've done all three Matrix. We've definitely done the first two, if I can remember that. We might cycle them around again though. I'm on the fence about seeing him in theaters. Those trailers were really fantastic for reviews. Yeah, I've heard really bad things about it. I mean, I don't like to let that affect what I see, but yeah, that's probably something I'm gonna wait for streaming to see. Yeah, it's a dangerous job, and like I said, they're not even nearly as crazy as Tom Cruise. Yeah, we might get around. We might get around to doing it again. Yeah, we did the Matrix. We did the Matrix, and we did the Matrix Reloaded. I think we may have done a double feature. I have to look back. All right, we're about to wind down this train ride. Ugh, why would you want to do that? I mean, it's a great movie no matter what, but I mean, I guess if you're gonna watch any cut, I mean, as long as I'm there, because like every time I do anything with the director's got to get a for like veterans of of the Blade Runner cult, like I am since the age of 8. Um, you know, I do the voiceover in my head, but if I'm bringing along brand new people, that voiceover is necessary. And the director's cut, Ridley Scott didn't like it, but Ridley Scott wasn't in the audience. That's the thing. So I prefer the international cut personally because that has all the stuff that the director cut has in there. Plus, it has a better. It redoes Zora's death to where they didn't use some woman that didn't look like her, and it also keeps a voiceover in the unicorn. So that's. But Rational, if you chip in there, we can do whatever cut you want. To be honest with you. Like I said, the Matrix 3 was really confusing for a lot of people. But the trilogy as a whole, I love the trilogy as a whole. I think that the second one is better than the first one, and then I don't really count Resurrections. Tom Cruise just makes those stuff look easy, walking on a wing of a plane, and nobody talks about it. Definitely, yeah, we definitely did. We just assumed that he's crazy. Yes, we could. Yes, we could. My Blade Runner. Yeah, Blade Runner. Without no hesitation there, Blade Runner. No, he's just not that kind of actor. Everybody's different. Tom Cruise is an action hero and has been one almost his entire career. Timothy Chalamet is more of a theatrical guy. I don't like watching the work print because there's a lot of stuff in there. It's a work print. It's cool to have, and I have it, but it's not real. It's not watchable as to me. It's not as quality because it's a work print. There are things missing in it. There are things out of color, out of context. You got little number. A work print has a purpose, and it's just not to me. It's cool to have because if you watch every version of the movie as I've watched, it's just another version for you to watch, and you can kind of see things from the point of view of the people who were working on the print. But as far as entertainment value, I'd rather have the complete movie if I had my choice. So. I should watch Blade Runner sometime soon. I guess the international cut, since you said it. Oh my God, you've never seen a movie before? It's the greatest. I mean, it is rivaled and I think surpassed by Blade Runner 2049. But the Blade Runner, those two movies I consider to be the greatest movies ever made. So. No, there's not. If there's those rumors need to die. Those rumors need to shut down. There was a time and a place for what the Matrix had to offer and the atmosphere it had to offer. That time is come and gone. I wouldn't do another Matrix movie for another 25 years, if then. The world needs to change, and you have to present something that is not already accepted. When the Matrix came out in 1999, we were in awe because the technology and everything we were living in had not meant that yet. We've surpassed that. There are 6-year-olds with more technology in their phone than the Matrix had in the movie entirely. So yeah, I say don't reboot it. I let it rest. Just like Jason, just like Freddy, just like Michael Myers. They let them rest. Let them rest and resurrect them years down the line. Yeah, Blade Runner got a lot of people. It kind of created the modern genre. It kind of created it in the cyberpunk era too, as well. I missed seeing Batman Forever in the theater for Batman Day. Did you see any discussions they had on? No, I did not. No, I did not. Well, by fast tracking, I mean I don't know what I mean because a lot of what he's doing is those are just the things he's working on. Brave and the Bold's going to be worked on by somebody else. Do I? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. How old was I? I was 25 when Blade Runner came out. No, I mean when Matrix came out. I'm sorry, I was 8 when Blade Runner came out. You saw the Matrix at the same age I saw um Blade Runner, and it's a total of 7 actually. I would rather it be anything but JLI, but we'll have to wait to see what kind of breadcrumbs and clues he drops. I would love for him to do a Legion movie. To be honest with you. They did. I think they did for the 40th anniversary in 2022. Yeah, it's the same answer. Same answer. I would prefer it not be JLI, Legion of Superheroes. I would prefer JSA, depending on if he's going to do a version of JSA that is contemporary or classical. Depends. Because people don't really have an understanding of what he's doing, and he's not really explained it really well, to be honest with you. But I see it because I'm a geek. I mean, he is. He is. If you watch that movie, there is no purpose for him to have the dream of the unicorn and then for Gaff to put down the unicorn. Gaff knew he was a replicant. He thought she only had 4 years. She didn't realize that Tyrell didn't give her lifespan. Among other things, he gave her the ability to conceive a child as well. We would find out later, and that's why he didn't come after Decker, because he figured both of them, if they were replicants, had 4-year lifespans. And also the scene where Gaff, Edward J. Olmos' character, says, "You've done a man's job." It was supposed to originally read, "Too bad you're not a man," because he didn't consider replicants men. But they didn't, they didn't want to reveal that then. But there's no other purpose of putting that unicorn, for him using that origami unicorn and setting it down there, um, other than to let them know. They took that scene out and eventually added the unicorn origami scene, and that's how Gaff reveals that he's a replicant and which Deckard already suspected, because he had those kind of feelings. So no. Hell yeah, it was a fun stream. Hell yeah, I really need to do sleep early. These eye bags need to lift for sure. Yeah, I need to try. I've been trying to listen to ambient music and stuff like that, but I don't know, man. Yeah, so did Leon. Remember, if you watched, Leon had photos of people. And remember how when Deckard was zooming in, he's like, "Who's this?" And replicants don't have families. They were given implants, and they were given things, given random pictures. That's why Leon in the first one was so messed up, because he had no mental connection to his mother, even though he had memories. He was wired wrong. So that's those pictures aren't necessarily real. Those are things that, reference pictures that probably what we would call stock photos today. Paul, how you doing? I hope the last 2 episodes of season 2 of Peacemaker are good. If they are not, I won't be watching any more Gun Director. That's fair enough. I mean, at least you're giving it a chance. Daniel Martin, somebody needs to make a short film with RJ McCready and Childs from The Thing and Deckard. I know. Anybody gonna say anything? This version of Lex, I can see leading up a Legion of Doom and Justice League. Also, I think Ultraman being sent to the black hole can become the comics to Ultraman, possibly. All right, guys, that's where I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I stayed on a lot longer. Oh, dude, Jose, go see these movies, man. Go see these movies. We did watch parties for them too. So, pretty much, yeah. And like I said, remember, even in the director's cut, remember when he's dreaming of the unicorn. It's not a dream he shared with anybody, yet Gap knew, because Gap knew about the implants. Gap would know everything about him. Okay, guys, we will be back on the air in our entirety with the co-host and everybody else tomorrow for the finale of Alien Earth. Holy shit. Don't know how that's going to land. I'm hoping for a good ending to the show. So far, it's been good. They got a lot of ground to cover in this final episode. I've had fun with it. I've enjoyed it. And like I said, let's just hope we get a finale that is representative of the entire show. In the movie, it is a sense. It is basically replicants in Blade Runner are made out of flesh and blood and operate just like a human does. The only difference is they can be programmed, and they are built piece by piece. But once they are activated, once they are given life, they function. They need oxygen. They need food. They function just like a human. There's no there's no physical difference. They are nearly undetectable. They have hearts, lungs. They can be killed just like any human can. Some of them are stronger than the others. Some of them are faster because they're designed for different purposes. But whereas a synth, it's like more like an android, a robotic type of thing, where with hydraulics and machines and a robot brain, a replicant has a replicant is flesh and blood. It's just the difference between a replicant and a normal human of the time is one was designed and built in a lab and the other one was born. There you go. Yeah, we're going to need to find something, aren't we? Dune Part 2, Blade Runner 2049. Ones like that. New Hope is almost 50. Oh, my God. All right, guys, that's really it. I will see you guys tomorrow night for that nasty little eye thing, because that's going to probably escalate. And all the other creepy crawly, that plant thing is going to be moving around, eating people. So it's probably going to be one of the grossest episodes that they've done. And that's saying a lot for this fucking show. All right, guys, have a nice night. Have a nice morning. Hope you have a great Tuesday. Bye. Oh, like, subscribe, share, alert, do all that.